Hey everyone, it's that time again. So last week you saw me farming away in Timer's Deep. Once I hit 24, I decided to move on from there. I went back to the home city to check out some of the surrounding zones. So right now I'm in Warsliks Woods, and later on we'll check out Lake of Ill Omen as well. So this is the giant fort just outside Cavalis. There are a few things that make this place really great. It's excellent XP. Uh, it's kind of a confined area, like it's a fort, so it's surrounded by these massive walls, and you don't get any kind of random mobs that wander through it. There are a couple of giants that will patrol through it back and forth, but they're really easy to avoid, so they're not really a problem at all. Currently, I'm at level 24, and all of the greenwoods con dark blue, and they're really easy to solo. There are a few slightly higher level giants called evergreens. They're kind of yellow and red to me at the moment. I think they're around level 25 to 27ish, but the majority of the giants in here are in the greenwoods, and they're really good XP, so it's not an issue at all. And if all that wasn't good enough, there's some really nice loot that drops here as well. I mean, the giants occasionally drop armor, and there are a few weapons, and they can vendor anywhere between 50 to 80 platinum each. Like, there's like the leg chopper and the foreman's tunic, I think it was called. Stuff like that. They also drop a variety of jewels, and very rarely they drop these earrings called forest loops, which other people will pay in around like 500 platinum each for, because they're really good earrings. So yeah, overall it's one of my favourite places so far to grind out levels. I guess the only real downside is when the zone's populated, and it usually always is, there's always people here, there's not that many giants to go around, so you can start running out of things to kill depending on how many people are like camping the area. So here you can see me selling from a Grindingsesh. I picked up a straw spun belt, which is worth 12. The leg chop it sold for 40. Giant foreman's tunic was like 60 flat. And then I got a giant tree clay, which is another 12. So that was a nice chunk of money to go along with the awesome XP I was getting. So I've moved on from Warslisk and the giant camp. Did a couple of levels there. I decided to move on. I'm in Lake of Ill Omen now. It's a pretty good spot. This is the entrance to the Sarnak Fort. Sarnak Fort? Yeah, I guess that's how you'd say it. You pretty much just kill these guys. But I have a love-hate relationship with this area. When I first came here, it was really, really good. And I was getting, I'd say, what was it, like one yellow every half an hour, I think it was. It was extremely good. But then the spawn cycle, I had some bad luck, because the main ones you want to kill are these recruits, or any melee ones, I'd say. But there are also two types of casters. There's the adherents and the revealers. And there's one other high level one that kind of sometimes pats. But anyway, basically the adherents, who are chamois, they wreck my shit, because their spells hit really, really hard. So what had happened is all these points most of them can spawn either a recruit or an adherent. And last night when I was leveling, all of them ended up being adherents, and I couldn't kill them. And I actually ended up dying a couple of times. At one point, I aggroed one, and I ended up it ran, and then I ended up having like 5 on me. And the problem is, normally, I could feign death and get away, but if they're in the middle of casting a spell and you feign death, that spell will still go off, and then when it hits you, once you're feigning, they will re-aggro you. So when I had 5 of them casting spells at different times, I just couldn't get away, and their nukes hurt really, really badly. So yeah, a bit of bad luck there. But other than that, it can be a really, really good place to get XP. These recruits, and another thing about the adherents, 2 of them had spawned over on that door, just over there where I'm looking, and the mobs usually run towards there, like goes into the hill a bit, and they have like, there's like a some tunnels and stuff down there you can see, and that the mobs like to run in there once they start fleeing. And there were 2 adherents at either point on this door, and they like to heal fleeing mobs. So it ran, and then it started getting healed, and it's just a mess. It's really frustrating when you kind of let the adherents get out of control. So that's pretty much the only downside to this place. Other than that, it's really good XP. Recruits, you get pretty decent coin, I suppose. They'll drop around a platinum each, and they have runes and words that you can vendor. So yeah, that's I believe it's called the Sarnak Fort. This tunnel will end up, here we go, it comes out in a different spot. This is gonna get messy. I'm gonna have to feign here. So yeah, sorry, the tunnels, there's an entrance here, and that'll lead all the way through, and it has an exit somewhere else in the zone, but I usually just keep to this little area here. There's a few little places you can pull to that are safe, like I'll show you now. If you come out here, this area right here, I usually kill, and you can kind of do a loop, and by the time you've killed all of them, you come back, and the first ones start spawning again. And if you kind of pull them up here, it's pretty safe because you can kill them when they start running. You can kill them before they can get far enough to cause trouble. See, I came here at I want to say 25, and most of them were blue. There were some evens and stuff. I'm 27 now, and I can pretty much take all of them except the dragoons. The dragoons, they are melee, and some of them are still yellow to me, some are white. So they'd probably be, 27 to 28. The adherents, all the casters, it's kind of luck of the draw. If I have mend up, I can usually take them, but if anything goes wrong at all, then I usually have to feign, and I just usually try and avoid them. They're a bit of a hassle. So there we go. As I was saying, this guy's just spawned, and then I start the cycle again. Another thing, loot here, I forgot to mention. You probably remember me if you watched my video about the East Common Lands tunnel. I had that red chest piece that I'd bought off a vendor, and I flipped for 50 plat. Well, they drop here. I'm not sure if they drop off all of them, but I definitely know they drop off the adherents, because actually I have one on me right now that I got last night. So that's another. And I also got this sword. Probably not going to sell for much, but still, yeah, a few gems and stuff that drop as well, jewelry. So you make some okay coin here. So that's a that's a bonus. Good XP and decent money can't hurt, right? I really can't emphasize enough how these things are massive assholes. I was just fighting this thing, got it down 20%. He blotted me up, all that crap. Then he started healing himself. When it got him down to about 10%, he blinded me so that when he ran off, I couldn't see where he went. Ran down the hall and aggroed a whole bunch of other things. I had to feign death. Now look at this. I don't even know if I'm going to make it. I'll probably die. Probably nuke me down while I'm blind. I know there I can hear him running, but I can't see him. Hopefully I'll get him this time. But yeah, that's what I mean. Even though this thing's blue, it can easily, with one wrong move, and it's the end of me. So you really be careful with these things. So this is a classic example of how things can just get totally out of hand with a caster. I fought this guy from full health, I was full health, and he just got a bunch of really big nukes off on me, and then he's just cast 2 damage over times on me, and man, I came so close to dying. Luckily I got the feigned death off away far enough that he didn't aggro me again after he cast the spell. Luckily I have mend up, thank God, because if I didn't have mend up, the dot would have killed me easily. So yeah, very close call on that one. So I'll give a quick tour of kind of the location that this whole area is, and kind of the other spots I like to hunt. This is one way into the Sarnak Fortress. The lake is over there where I'm heading. That leads over to the Goblin Tunnels, that path there, and Frontier Mountain Zone is right there. So you run up here and across this bridge. Well, actually, if you just look over this hill, that's the back entrance to the fortress. That little door over there where those three Xanax are standing. But what I usually like to do is I'll farm up in either this tower, and I'll kill those two guards down on the door as well when I'm on this tower. Or what you can do is run all the way along this path, and you kind of have to come up through here because they've got the wall set so you can't jump up there. So that's the lake off to my left. If you follow this all the way around, you see this is the main entrance, I would say, to the fort. And this is where you'll see some groups will set up just down here, and they'll pull from the front doors, and they'll even go in and pull out to the front. But what I like to do when I'm soloing, I'll just come in the back here, around through this path. And then usually you have, well, when I play on off hours, I have the whole fort to myself, and I just set up camp right about here. And yeah, there's just an absolute abundance of mobs. There's, 5 or 6 spawns just right here. Both of those towers have 3 or 4 spawns each. Heaps down there that patrol, and there's 2 on the ramp there, and there's another tower up there that's got another 4 in it, and then there's one along the drawbridge. So by yourself, there's absolutely no way you could kill everything in here without, before stuff would start respawning. Well, that's something you don't see every day. I'm pretty sure this druid has charmed a fish from the lake and is now using it. Wow, that's fucking hilarious. And here we can see it finally hit level 30. Welcome to the first level of hell. But the good news is, now we get to learn fly kick. Coolest skill in the entire game. So now that I'm level 30, I made my way back into Warsliks Woods to farm some more giants. So I have the whole giant fort to myself right now. I have my intimidation up to 150. It's actually quite an effective tool for kind of fear kiting these things. Monks and fear kiting, who knew, right? Look at that, it's just too easy. Got a double, see if we can fear one off, fight the other. That way we don't have to take double damage. It's highly unlikely he'll give me any ads because he's running off into the forest. And even if he does run in there, everything's dead. Go away. No, he might aggro that greenwood. Spoke too soon. Oh well, doesn't matter. I have mend up for a worst case scenario. pop the men just because. Look at that, 95% health. Just took 3 mobs. Monks, man, gotta love monks. Of course, the funky tunic helps. Look at that. So that pretty much covers it for this week, guys. That was level 24 to 30, done in the surrounding areas of Cabalus. If you liked it, drop me a comment, and be sure to subscribe. Next week we're probably gonna take a look at Frontier Mountains, and we'll talk a bit about hell levels. So, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.